Look at this lovely home that you've renovated. We have talked about it before, but I think it's worthy of further highlighting, showcasing, and celebration, really, because you've done a beautiful job here. This is what you do at Rural Properties. It's a very, and you mentioned it before, I think, your high level of detailing and snagging and making sure it's right for the new owners. How long has this process taken on this beautiful place here, Paul?
Well, there were some gaps when we did other things, but the investors in this property were longer term, so they're happy that the prices have gone up anyway to cover any sort of 3-month gaps.
Yes.
But about 18 months altogether, because it was a complete re-roof, rebuild, re-floor, re-everything. So it's very pleasant inside. I'm getting some good comments actually back from some fairly hard-nosed friends.
Oh, really?
Saying, "Oh, it looks beautiful. Well done." Yeah.
Yes, well, it does. I mean, look at this. Look at this. You know, and you needn't go to this level of detail and care. Many don't. What's your reason for doing that? Is it just what you want Rural Properties to trade on, and that's the ethic you want to be known for?
Well, I think it's what looks good on the page. Firstly, you can't have toilet seats up and things half finished. I still see it. Don't worry. And I mean, some of these images are computer generated, but you'll move on.
That's not. Yeah.
No, that one certainly isn't. No, I think people. I mean, this is, to me, it's still good value. It's about €1,500 per square meter. You couldn't build it for less than about 2,500 a square meter now. So it's, for me, it's a brand new house in a historic setting, and it's got to be right. You know, you can't have bits of paint daubed everywhere and creaky floorboards and things. So it's it's just a pleasure to do it. And I've lived in some really nice houses, villas that I've built, and I want them just so. I am quite picky, I think. I'll make a mess in them when I'm there, but on handover, it's got to be right.
It's got to look the part.
You can't have gaps in the grouting and stuff. It's just simple stuff, and it's no one's fault. Stuff happens. You know, building sites are busy places, especially on the finishing. You've got people sort of falling over each other to get stuff done.
Yes.
And but part of my job is the sort of overview to say, okay, I go around with a sticky pad. What do you call those things? Post-it notes.
Post-it notes, yeah.
And just pin them everywhere, and it looks like it's just been a festa. You know, you go in. The building.
Your work is, here we go. We're going tomorrow with Post-it notes everywhere.
Now, Tommy, your work is just beginning. Yes. It's good. So you end up with
now then. I mean, they must have got used to you, because I think for a true tradesperson, craftsman, and someone who enjoys their work and wants to be paid well and do their work well, actually that must work for them as well, mustn't it? To know that they've got a good client with high standards, and that brings out the best in your builders as well, presumably, once they got that measure of it.
Yeah, I would think so. And I still feel I'm Mr. Picky, but at the end of the day, I'm paying the bill, so that's what you need. I do make sure that every supplier gets paid immediately.
Yes.
And if there's a problem, I'll discuss it immediately. And I think when you work like that, the reputation builds fairly quickly as well.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Not that I'm after lines of credit from local suppliers, but it's healthy if you keep the cash flowing. It's pointless.
Yes, and I'm only pausing on this particular shot here because I noticed a comment you made about not going for your standard Leroy chrome, which I think is, which anyone who's renovated a house will know exactly what you mean.
Yeah,
you've gone for something a little bit. This is brave, is it not? This is a break from. The idea is, I think, isn't it? Is from the days of beige and magnolias. Don't do it how you want it. Do it for the sake of potential and what people can see in it. But you've clearly gone a little bit further than that. You are creating a vision here, and you've chosen some finishes that are a little bit characterful rather than just plain, so that the new people can come in and stamp their own identity on it.
Yeah, and it used to be leave all the walls white. The customer can decide what color they want, and you just end up with a white wall for 10 years because people can't make their mind up.
Or just a little patch like your Post-it note. Somebody buys a paint tester.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I haven't gone down that route. I painted most of the interior of this house a certain grey.
Yeah.
But that means it acts as a backdrop to all sorts of other colours. So it's not bland white, but it makes such a difference. And the grey, as you see, picks up the antique radiator colour. And it just makes it a bit friendly. You know, I could go the whole hog and kit the house out and put in sofas and this, that, and the other. But I think now with what you can do on a computer, that's unnecessary.
Yes, yes. Well, we are celebrating Adelina and you. Beautiful work, Paul. A man after your own heart here. Brass slot screws in line. I've seen that with my own eyes. Hughes level.
I've seen that at Hughes' house on the shutters in the upstairs corner room. That's the first thing I noticed. Was every single screw is to attention. It's brilliant.
It is incredible, a level of detail at Hughes' place, which is on the market as well. Of course, we should remember. And I remember Paul showing us it on your show originally. What a transformation! Thank you very much. And Voltex is here, a new viewer. I wish if I sell my house in London and I move there. Well, if you're selling a house in London, you might have a bit of change because this is on. Right. Yeah, 300,000. Incredible value, and we can't gloss over these. Well, how did you describe these radiators?
Well, they're antique style cast iron radiators. They're actually made by Rocker in an antique style, so they're newish. I picked these up in Spain because they were a lot cheaper. They were second hand, so they've been stripped and resprayed.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
But they still make them. They're quite expensive to buy new.
Yeah.
I mean that one you see there's from memory is about 600 euros.
Is it?
So I bought 6 of them, I think.
Yeah.
For just over 1,000, but I had to go to Toledo to do it. So it's a bit of a story there. Good.
Yeah, that's a great anecdote for the autobiography.
Good night out. Yeah, they see a room that doesn't have any furniture populated on it. Yes. So it's basic floor, window, lighting, radiator, new wiring, plumbing, etc.
Yes.
And I think the spaces here, the locals I've shown around have gasped in wonderment because they remember the old house that was quite pokey. There's lots of little rooms, but now it is far more open. It's naturally cool inside. It was 40 outside the other day and it was 24 inside because the walls are about nearly a meter thick and it's double glazed, etc., etc. So,
fantastic. You've done such a good job here. We're not leaving much room for anything else, but I think it's quite right that we should celebrate this coming onto the market here. I mean, you know, that in itself is an achievement to see a beautiful home coming into the market in a beautiful Central Portugal location. But it's a great showcase of what you're bringing to the Portuguese party as well, Paul. I think it's really important to me, as you were saying earlier on, the heart of Portugal is to me is Central Portugal. It's what I fell in love with, and it connects completely with all of the sociological observations that were being made earlier on. There is an incredible potential in Central Portugal for regeneration. I've called this show this morning a rural renaissance, you know, and what you're doing is firmly a part of that. And there's much more potential for this to be happening, to capture that spirit of Portugal, to share it with the rest of the world, and for you to be doing this work and us to be showcasing it, because it needs to be seen. So we're not distracted by sardines and pastel de natas and Ronaldo. All those things are great, and golf and all that is good, but there is something deep and soulful and fabulous as well as you're showcasing here. Would you agree?
Yeah, I do. And this house by now the roof would have collapsed by now if nothing happened. It would. It was not in a good state. So we spent a lot of money on this and a lot of time and a lot of thought, and every day has been a pleasure.
Oh, so glad to hear that. So glad to. I mean, it would have been not free of challenges, I'm sure, but you've overcome them and you've ended up with this incredible product here. If I'm ever able to save enough money, I might need to contact Paul for my 2-story ruin. It doesn't quite work like that, does it, Paul? You're not a renovator designer in that sense. You go in and you find the site and renovate from scratch from that point
Yeah,
of view.
we buy the site, do our own
Yes.
renovation, and sell it.
Yes. Okay.
I get asked by a lot of people, can you come and do a renovation for our property? And I'll advise on it on an
Yep.
informal basis, but no, not
Okay.
unless I can buy it.
Right. So you're happy to do that. Okay. But
yeah,
but
we're not
ideally,
we're not a general contractor. Most people need a builder, so that's
yes.
what we're not.
Okay, very good. We've only got a few minutes left. We have dominated the conversation with those wonderful insights, the big picture, and highlighting, showcasing Adelina here. Congratulations to you and all the. It's not just you, is it? There's a big team involved in making this happen. Is there anything else that you want to share with us before you go this morning?
Well, just the Adelina, it's busy in the central region now, down at Cabril Reservoir, which is about 2.5 kilometers from this picture, where the water sports are and the pop-up cafes and stuff. It's really busy, and yet all and around there's not a traffic jam. There's nothing. So the Central can still soak up increasing numbers of tourists. Yes. And there's river beaches everywhere and places to eat and drink and be merry, and yet you're not queuing. It's great.
When you first experience that, you think, well, this just wouldn't work anywhere else, would it? The numbers aren't there, the footfall's not there, but this is going on not as we speak, because the people aren't out of bed yet, but later on today, people will be enjoying those things, and they're not overcrowded. This is just it is convivio. It's exactly what we're talking about with convivio, isn't it? It's people rocking up to a river beach or a reservoir, and there'll be a restaurant there, and people will be convivial. They will be showcasing, demonstrating this idea of convivio, meeting friends and family, especially at this high point in August when many of them have come back into the country, and your heart will swell when you see how beautifully this is happening as a normal part of Portuguese life, right? In where you are.
It's down at Cabril. There's a big seating area that's got trees for shade, and there's a communal barbecue and long bench tables. And on Sunday it was great. It was a mixture of Mozambique, Angola, Cape Verde, Swiss Portuguese coming back, the French mob coming back. It was great. It was just one big party. It was one big party. It was fantastic. It was black, white, and every color in between. Just great times, and you look at the kids and the teenagers, this is what their memories are being made of. And it is such an inclusive family time. Nobody's drunk. No one's taking drugs, to my knowledge. Just having a really good afternoon into the evening, a bit of music. It's just completely spontaneous. I love it.
And if you say to those people, I love what you're doing, you'd be like, what? We're just living our lives. This is just how we yes.
They'd say, do you want some chicken?
Exactly. Yeah,
that's it. So
long may it continue. It reminds us, I think, possibly of some of the vibes, atmospheres, resonances of our own childhoods, and it's still alive and well here in Central Portugal. Multi-generational fun, people not destroying things and falling out in the heat, showing you how you can get along, and very naturally, it's convivio summed up right there. Find out more about what Paul's doing, because there's loads more. And we'll finish with a convivio, the first convivio video really that I've made. Delighted to do so with the convent property that you've got at Momento, and many more like it at rural-properties.com. Well, good luck with the camera today, Paul. Have a great day. Don't get involved in too many French registration plate traffic jams of 7 cars or more, will you, in Central Portugal? Have a great day.
I would hasten to add, it's not my main task of the day. I've actually got 2 American incomers to meet and show around this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Excellent. And if we were a bit too harsh on the Algarve, orange juice is one of the great things to
the Sumo and the Monchique water, big favorite.
Yes, exactly. 2 great Algarve classics this morning. But as the Portuguese say, as a joke, you say to them, well, I remember talking to a taxi driver he took us from San Martino to Lisbon, and I said, what's your favorite thing about Lisbon, thinking that he would come out with a list of, you know, galleries and experiences. He said, the road back to San Martino de Porto. And I think local people are much like that here. That's the great Portuguese sense of humor as well. Thanks, Paul. I'm going to play the Convivio video of the conference. Whet people's appetites with that. You have a great day, and we'll see you again next month.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Carl.
All the best. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. Right, as promised, the Convivio video and a rural-properties.com if you want to see the Adelina, the convent video I'm about to play you, and many other wonderful projects. Do get in touch with Paul. Launching the Convivio offshoot of Good Morning Portugal and a celebration of all those sorts of things we've been talking about this morning. A rural retreat, a refuge from the stresses of modern life, less than 100 miles from Porto to the west and Spain to the east. Truly a rare and extraordinary opportunity to create a destination experience within this 16th century convent in central northern Portugal, a place of deep peace and calm. The original building came into being during Portugal's golden age of overseas exploration, the Portuguese Renaissance, and awaits a new guardian to invoke and blend its rich historical past with the contemporary world-class experience to nourish the human spirit. Eminently suitable for hotel, restaurant and conferencing purposes, the 4-hectare site comprising the main building and 3 annexes set among mature woodland would also allow for a specialist interest residential centre of the highest quality. Enjoy here the great qualities of the bygone time in which this national monument was painstakingly constructed, that now longs for respectful restoration and rebirth. There you go. Please read the article, subscribe to the channel Convivio Portugal, at Convivio Portugal, simply on YouTube. And I'm looking forward. It was a joy to produce that video. And there'll be many more coming along that celebrate that somewhat intangible, but when you're experiencing it, you know exactly what we're talking about. We found the tune for you, T-Duck, Marta Pereira da Costa and Rui Veloso this morning. And any comments that I've missed, I will endeavor to put up on the screen whilst this is playing as well. I wanted to find your comment, Mel, about more of the words that us foreigners have. Here it is, looking up words for expat pride, possibly civic pride, regional pride, local joy, not really connected to immigrants though. And that's the thing, isn't it? I think T-Duck may have nailed that earlier on, but I just can't remember what the word was. There we go. Compartilhamento, the sharing, the pride that us foreigners have when we're treating others who are coming into the country to visit, to stay with us, and I'll be doing that. I can't wait to take my daughter and granddaughter to the local cafe and have an empada de frango, the simple things, a galao, and then walk down to the beach. It's going to be great these next few days doing that. So whatever it's called, and I'll go with compartilhamento for the time being. Let's enjoy and celebrate that. I certainly will be.